guys, welcome back here to Intuitive Angling, and appreciate you guys swinging by the channel to check out my competition day report. Up here at Stockton Lake, we had our Solo Pro Series Top 100 SQ qualifier tournament today. Going to give you guys a rundown how my day went, how I caught my fish, and hopefully you can learn something. Hopefully help you guys catch some fish from what I figured out on the water today, so we're going to get into that. Also, guys, a couple quick things here. Just want to remind you that Solar Bat has got their big Easter sale going on my Signature Series glasses. These are my RB2 series. I've also got the RB3s that have the matte gray frames. 30% off during the whole month of Easter here. I'll have my Solar Bat link in the description of the video if you guys would like to pick up a pair. These are the high contrast yellow lens. I really like those. And also, guys, I just want to extend a big thank you. My family wants to thank everybody that's been using and bookmarking my Tackle Warehouse link in every video description. Every video I do, guys, I put that Tackle Warehouse link in there, and I know a lot of you guys say, hey Randy, I ordered a rod and reel off your link. That's a big help to the channel, guys, so thank you very much if you've one of the people who have been doing that. Really appreciate that. Okay, guys, I was looking forward to this tournament. Stockton Lake, I have fished up here since I was a little kid, and I have not fished a tournament here since my bass club days back in the early 80s. So this was the first tournament I have fished on the lake in almost 45 years. But I fish up here a ton because I do a lot of on the water lessons here and I fish for fun. So it's only like 45 minutes from my home. So I'm fishing up here all the time, just not in tournaments. So I was really excited to be able to fish a tournament here. So if you guys have been following it, I practiced Thursday for about probably 4 hours, and I practiced for 4 or 5 hours yesterday. Struggled a little bit on Thursday, didn't really do that good. Yesterday, they really bit good. It's like I caught a lot of fish. I caught one almost 6 pounds yesterday. Pretty jacked for the tournament. So anyway, the conditions we had here, guys, it was windy and warm and sunny. Water temperatures are really warming up quick. The water temperatures are in the mid to upper 50s right now throughout the lake, close to 60 degrees. They've warmed up like 10 degrees just in the past week. So my plan was, I had one area of the lake I decided I wanted to fish in the stained water. So I ran about 20 miles into some stained water that I knew about, and I mixed everything up. I flipped a jig, I threw a spinnerbait, crankbait, chatterbait, did a bunch of different stuff, and I pretty much isolated it after practice to just a crankbait. And not just one, I was catching them on several different crankbaits. Crawdad patterns, as long as it was the crawdad pattern crankbait, they'd bite it. But I could not get any fish going on in anything except the crankbait. So anyway, started out this morning and ran down there, went right to my best area, and I fished it for probably close to an hour and never had a bite. So I idled up about another 50 yards. I had 2 or 3 stretches in this one area here. Rocky channels, bluffy type banks was what I was fishing. Transition areas, typical pre-spawn stuff I've been talking about a lot. So when I made this second move, right off the bat, I caught a nice one, about a 3.5 pounder on the crankbait. And then the next hour, guys, I probably caught 8 or 9 keepers. Had a limit in probably 30 minutes after I left that first spot. So here it is. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning. I've got a decent limit, and I've been culling right off the bat. So I'm pretty jacked because I hadn't even been to my best water yet. So this is what happened next. I idled out. I got up on plane, and Stockton has a bunch of submerged timber in it. And I idled out a long way away from the timber. I got up on plane, and as soon as I got up on plane, my prop hit the top of a submerged piece of timber, and it sheared the hub in my prop. There was no damage to it. It's like there was not a nick in it. There wasn't any bend. The blade must have hit the top of that stump just perfect to shear and spin the hub out. So in other words, if you don't know what spinning a hub out is, you can't go anywhere. If you put the motor in gear, it'll barely move forward, barely. In fact, it won't even move forward if you're going into the wind. But if you try to give it gas, the prop's stripped out. It won't go anywhere. So anyway, I'm like, are you kidding me? Because I've got a good limit in the boat already, and I've got my best water in front of me, but it's 3 or 4 miles away. I got to run to it. So I called the tournament director, Randy Conlon, explained the situation. He was going to try to find somebody that had spare prop I could use, and he couldn't find anybody. So he said, Randy, if you know anybody that can help you out, just give them a call. So I called my buddy Connor Cunningham from Springfield, Missouri. A lot of you guys know Connor, and Connor saved my butt, guys. Connor called him at 10 o'clock this morning. He drove all the way up from Springfield, put his boat in up by the dam, and ran about 20 miles to where I was at, and basically just watched me fish for 2 or 3 hours. I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't go to the area, so I just kept going back and forth on those places where I caught a limit right off the bat this morning. And then after at the end of the day, Connor ran me back to the weigh-in. So big thank you to Connor. So anyway, guys, to make a long story short, I wound up, I had a limit that weighed 12.5 pounds. I think I finished 19th or 20th in the tournament. And I'll tell you a little bit about the details about my pattern, how I caught them. Now, if you guys have heard me talking much on the channel lately, I've been talking about pre-spawn banks a lot. Channel banks, bluff banks, staging areas. That's exactly what I did, guys, today. Exactly. I concentrated on just channel banks, bluffy type channel banks that were adjacent to spawning areas. And I was just paralleling those rocky banks with the crankbait. Very typical 101 basic pre-spawn fishing. Most of the water visibility was probably about 1.5 feet or so where I was fishing. So I was really trying to target that water less than 5 foot deep, and caught a bunch of fish, guys. I probably caught, I don't know, 3 limits of fish today, 15-inch keepers. Had a great time, even though I didn't get to my best water. I just had to, fish what I could. But don't get me wrong, I'm grateful for Connor coming up and getting me and allowed me to weigh my fish in, because this circuit that I'm fishing, guys, it's a qualifying circuit. You have to finish in the top 30 in the point standings at the end of the season to qualify for the Pro Series, Solo Pro Series next year. So I got a good start, like I said, top 20 in the tournament, got a good start for the rest of the season. But the main thing is I, sort of want to clue you in a little bit. One of the things about it is, like, in the pre-spawn, when that water's in the 50s, bass are really, really focused on feeding on crawdads. So I tried to get them going because I felt if I could, like, slow roll a spinnerbait or throw a chatterbait or something like that, I could catch a bigger one. I couldn't get them to bite it. We had a perfect day for chatterbait and spinnerbait, and I even talked to some of the guys at the weigh-in that caught them on chatterbait today. But I mixed it up between, a crawdad pattern chatterbait, a shad pattern chatterbait, nothing. I couldn't get anything. Everything was on the crankbait. Like I said, targeting less than 5 feet of water, paralleling banks, just covering water. The only thing that did stand out to me is that any time that I had a piece of laydown wood in the water on the channel banks, it was a guaranteed fish with a crankbait. I threw a spinnerbait and I'd pitch a jig around that wood and could never get a bite, but I'd take that crankbait and I'd crawl it over those laydowns, and literally almost every piece of wood I came to, I caught a nice keeper on it. So anyway, I'm actually waiting right now. I had to go drive and bring my truck down here to the closest ramp. Connor's towing my boat right now. He had to tow the boat like 3 or 4 miles, so it's been taking him a while. But anyway, if you hadn't had a chance, guys, subscribe to Connor's got a great YouTube channel, Connor Cunningham Fishing. I'll link it in the description. Like I said, he bailed my butt out today big time. So anyway, guys, thanks for joining in. Appreciate you guys watching the videos this week, and we'll talk later.